Hi, my name's Jason, and this is my system for dealing with my ADHD and being able to sort everything I need to get sorted so that I can go through and still have time left in my day. So, to start off here, only sort if, that's an important one, the sum of the time spent looking plus the inconvenience of losing an item plus cost is greater than the time to sort. And I'm just going to go through and make these some different colors so they can pop out a little bit. So here the cost is the cost that you would pay if you lost the item due to your system being a little bit more messy. And the whole point here is based around the idea of searching versus sorting. So you can search for stuff a lot faster with your eyes just by skimming across it than you can actually by sorting it. So if you had a giant bookshelf and you wanted to find a book, you could just go and you kind of skim through the whole thing. Probably take about 10 seconds. Time it would take you to alphabetize and sort your stuff would be around an hour depending on the size of the bookshelf. So that's kind of the principle that we're going on, and I'm just going to elaborate more about what each one of these things mean. So time spent is just the how long does it take to search. Let's move this down here. And depending on what it is, if it's a sock drawer and you have to rumble around, or if you have to move stuff aside, it can take a little bit longer. But for the most part, searching is a really quick activity to do, which is why you want to sum up the amount of time you spend searching. So say you have, let's say with the sock drawer. Each morning, you're going to have to look for the pair of socks you want. So that means every single day, you're going to have to search through it. So you want to sum up that time. And then on the other side of the equation, over here, for time to sort, this is how long does it take to sort plus keep sorted. Because you have to maintain the system that you created. And then one more thing I'd want to add to that is we're going to take this and we're going to multiply it by 2. You're going to be like, well, why are we going to do that? And this is because you're bad at estimating how long a task is going to take. And for me personally, because I have ADHD, I am terrible at this. So we're just going to give us a nice safety buffer to make sure that we actually have this equation about equal. So the inconvenience. So inconvenience is, say you're missing something and it's really important, so you'd have to run out to the store, like go to Walmart or something, and buy a new one. That's a certain amount of inconvenience. And then also the aggravation that you mentally feel by having it unsorted, along with the annoyance of having to search through it to find stuff. So this is going to be searching plus getting new stuff plus looking at mess. And I'm not sure if you haven't noticed about this, but this isn't an exact thing that you necessarily put values into. It's just something that I keep in my mind when I'm thinking about whether or not I should put time into organizing my stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, let's just quickly, how much time do I think I spend? Just rough numbers. How much is the inconvenience? And then the cost. So I'm not that messy, but if your system's really bad that you currently have, you might lose some stuff. Stuff will fall through the gaps. It won't get put where you should find it. And that, if you have to buy something, we're going to have to like put an estimate on your time, because for a lot of this, it's supposed to be inconvenience in time. So the inconvenience is the time spent trying to, like, driving to the store to get new stuff. The cost is how much it would cost. So if it's like $20 to buy yourself a new coffee mug because you can't find yours due to just having a bad system, then we're going to just roughly say that's 1 hour. We can redefine inconvenience as like driving through stuff. I mean, you can add a bump to it for having to look at the mess, but that's the whole rough idea here. So now, what system do I use to actually sort most of my stuff out? Because the system here plays a big role. If you have some elaborate system like alphabetizing, it's going to take a lot longer to sort it, and you'll still have it be messy, but if it takes too long to search through it, if it takes too long to sort it, then you're going to have to search through it. But if you can come up with a system that's kind of like at a tipping point where you can sort it really quick, then the time based on searching it kind of levels each other out. So if you don't have to spend too much time sorting, you can have your stuff more easily organized. And the best way I've personally found to do this is called bucket sort. So what is bucket sort? Say we have, just doing our clothing, we have 4 buckets. One for others, socks, shorts, and shirts. And this is kind of like the game Guess Who, where you try to evenly pick buckets. So each time you ask a question, Guess Who, you're trying to get 50% of the board. Each one of these buckets, we're trying to evenly cover about 1/4 of the stuff. So we're going to take all the shirts, and we're going to take this one, we're going to move it over here. You can just grab these all at the same time, move them over, grab you, and you. We're going to grab our socks, put them right here. And then we're going to grab our mittens, our scarf, and that's going to go in the other, whoops, you grab the whole thing. It's going to go in the other section. So then we're going to grab our shorts. We're going to put those right there. So now if you're looking at this, you're like, oh, the section of the pile for the shirts is a lot larger than the other ones. So in this case, what we can do, and this is the rule for if you have a bucket, if it takes too long to search through a single bucket, or the bucket just overflows the actual bucket of stuff you have it in, then you can split it into 2 smaller buckets. So for this, what we're going to do is we're going to split this into non-pink shirts and pink shirts. And you might not necessarily think, oh, well, that makes sense. Like, why don't we do one for each color? And that's because you want to try to split it so the bucket maintains half here and half here. So if we look at this, because of the way I did that, the example, half of them are pink shirts, and about half, it doesn't have to be exactly, but about half of them are non-pink shirts. And that way we can sort through it. It's not going to be always necessarily individual colors. Sometimes you might have something where it's like all like you might have a giant bin full of office supplies and it might get filled up. So you're going to split it into pens and not pens. Like just trying to get 50% covered on each bucket. So now the new buckets would be other socks, shorts, pink shirts, and non-pink shirts. And the rule I want to put out here for when to split a bucket is if the bucket is full or the time to search is greater than the time spent sorting, just split the bucket, then you can split the bucket. So when you do split it, try to split it about 50-50. This is my system. Hopefully you understand from the examples I gave. If you weren't, leave a comment down below. And if you're interested in more of my ideas about how I deal with my ADHD, give this video a like and subscribe.